Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on Play on GAA. Today I have Luke back with me here again, Seamus Brady here, and I have Luke Payton with me to do the match review of the Limerick versus Galway game. It took place at the Gaelic grounds in Limerick, but Galway pulling off a very, very impressive win under Henry Shefflin, of course, 2 from 2. They beat Offaly in the opening round of the Allianz League, and now they have beaten the all-conquering back-to-back All-Ireland champions Limerick. They beat them in the Gaelic grounds in Limerick by 27 points to Limerick's 118. The goal, of course, coming from Aaron Galland. Luke, Galway looking hugely impressive throughout this game. Henry Shefflin, of course, you know, it's his first year in charge. It's their second league game. Obviously, the Offaly game, people expected them to get the win there, and they got it pretty convincingly. But this one, I mean, very impressive from Galway all around.
Yeah, and the fact that they did it with so many kind of new players in the team as well there, that it's like you can see with Shefflin what he's brought in straight away is that it's there's a lot of experimentation already. And like you look particularly at names like Ronan Glenning, Jack Hastings, Tom Monaghan, like these players have kind of come in from the cold, really, haven't been given a shot in recent years, and they look absolutely at home at this level. And yeah, it's a huge positive, I think, for Galway, and I think they'll be very, very happy with the performance yesterday. It was kind of nip and tuck kind of game until the red card, but then look, as soon as the red card happened, Galway absolutely punished them, and there was a level of clinicalness to their performance as soon as that red card happened. And even despite a Limerick kind of fight back, where there was kind of a remarkable few minutes really where after the red card that Limerick just hit everything. They were hitting scores from everywhere. Flanagan hit 2 in a row. Tom Morrissey hit 1, and they just looked like they were just really clinging on, and they were going to push Galway all the way. But Galway finished so strong in the last 10 minutes, and once that kind of energy came from off the bench, particularly from Johnny Cohn, they pulled away in the end in a very impressive fashion.
Yeah, without doubt. And you mentioned there, obviously, about the red card that Gearóid Hegarty picked up. Personally, I thought it was warranted. Do you think it was warranted?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think there was clear 3 strikes to the head, what I counted there with the hurl, and look, it was very, very dangerous, kind of what he done there. So yeah, no doubt about the red card. I think the interesting part is the reaction afterwards, like Donald Logue talking about that's been a long time coming. And look, yeah, like I can see the argument a little bit. There's examples like in the All-Ireland final against Waterford a few years ago. There was where he was guilty of a kind of low blow. Yeah, there's been a few other examples where Hegarty's kind of played on the edge a little bit. So yeah, like I know it's kind of really split opinion, Donald Logue's comments, but yeah, no, I think he absolutely had to go, and I'll be interested to see if he picks up a sizable enough ban for it, because it was a nasty enough incident. Like,
yeah, like he seemed to hesitate about it and then go for it. Like he seemed to kind of lunge into it, and I thought Joseph Cooney was really, really good in that moment because he didn't react and he let Gearóid Hegarty kind of dig his own grave, because it was right in front of the referee. And Cooney just didn't react, allowed Hegarty to do it, knowing full well that he would get sent off for it. As well as that, like the discipline there from Galway was very good. Like they weren't going to let their man get pushed around, and they did, you know, stick up for their teammate, but they didn't throw any strikes and they kept their 15 on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's an important point because yeah, look, there was no doubt about it. From when the incident occurred, there was a bit of a scrap out kind of getting close to the barriers and stuff as well. But look, Galway, they kept their discipline. You're right in saying that, and that yeah, look, it was clear that it was just Hegarty that threw the strikes. And look, once Hegarty was gone, there it was going to be a big last for Limerick and stuff. But yeah, they even despite all that, they had a strong enough team out there, but there were a few kind of worries for them, I think, like losing Will O'Donoghue to injury and everything as well. And I think they'll have a bit of a worry about the corner forward spot that, like, with Peter Casey not around, they haven't really been able to fill that corner forward spot. Nobody's really coming in and knocking down the door there for that spot. So a few things for them to work on. And look, I think they'll be a bit disappointed that they haven't got a win yet when Cian Lynch isn't around. So yeah, I think Kiley, he'll have a few jobs to do now. Number 1 with discipline, and then number 2, kind of trying to unearth those kind of forwards to step in if, like, let's just say if the worst happens and Cian Lynch or Aaron Glam was out injured, who can actually come in and replace them and keep them ticking over as All-Ireland contenders.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, Cathal O'Neill is one for me that I'd like to see being given more of a run. I mean, he hit 4 points there, looked pretty good. But Oisin O'Reilly as well, your man from Kilmallock, I think he's a good player. I think he was vital to Kilmallock throughout the club championship, especially in winning the Limerick championship. So I think he is well worth a shot as well. Josh Considine as well is another one that I think is a good option in the corner, but no doubt Peter Casey is the number one option there. He's a superb hurler, and they'd be dying for him to get back, to be honest. On top of that, I mean, Galway, like let's stick to the positives here. Galway looking absolutely superb. What do you think really was the key real instigators? I know you talked about the new faces in the team like Tom Monaghan and Jack Hastings, but in my opinion as well, the likes of Conor Whelan, the likes of Joseph Cooney, they were very impressive throughout the whole game. And they really kind of showed leadership, which is going to be vital in the championship as well. Obviously, with Joe Canning not returning to the panel this year, the influence of the likes of Conor Whelan and Joseph Cooney is absolutely vital.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, look, it's a good point about Joseph Cooney you mentioned there. He's moved to midfield and he looks to be an absolutely huge presence in there. He hit 3 points from midfield too. Himself and Ronan Glennon in midfield looks to be a nice little partnership, and 5 points between the two of them from play. Another huge positive, I think, is, look, in their first games coming back this season, Conor Cooney played centre-half forward and Colin Mannion played a free role, named corner forward, but played out around the middle. And the two of them looked absolutely superb. And they were both probably up there for man of the match as well. So, like, Cooney hit all of his frees. He was a constant kind of outlet under from puckouts and everything as well able to win his own ball. And then, look, Colin Mannion is just one of the most natural hurlers in the country. So, like, anytime when you can have those three that you've mentioned, Conor Whelan, Conor Cooney, Colin Mannion in your forward line, you're going to be doing well. And they still have the likes of Brian Concannon, Evan Nyland to come back in. So, like, there's huge positives for Galway. It's just a matter of trying to find a system that can balance all these players. And if they can get that forward line kind of taking the right direction, because, look, there's so much talent in that team. Like, look at the half-back line as well from the weekend. Pork Mannion, Gary McInerney, Fintan Burke. It's an absolute huge half-back line. And they just swept up and kind of dominated Limerick in, like, a line that has been so kind of famed for Limerick in recent years. So, I think Galway would be absolutely delighted with how it's going. The only maybe issue, I still think they are lacking a little bit of cornerback. And I think that's the big challenge for Henry Young for championship. Number one is to try balance the forward line. And then number two is to sort out the issue in the corners. But look, I think you'd be delighted.
Yeah, without doubt. And you mentioned there as well, Fintan Burke was the actual man of the match. His performance was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, he's really blossomed into that wing-back role and he suits it so perfectly. Galway beating Limerick, making it 2 from 2. Perfect start for Henry Shefflin in the league as Galway boss. Galway 27 points, Limerick 118. Don't forget to look at all our other match reviews of the weekend's action. And until next video, guys, take care.